So I'm just going to reiterate that this is a meeting of the town board of the town of Northeast. Today is Thursday, May 11th, 2023, and we're meeting at Town Hall. And the next item on the agenda is the report of the town clerk, who has submitted passed along reports from the planning, zoning, and building departments to the board, and they've all been distributed.
And the tax collection summary, which we're at now 92%.
Okay. So that's a report from the tax collector that we're at 92%, which is good. Hopefully, sort of where we were last year or close.
Yes, it will be done with our part at by the next board meeting.
Okay, thank you. Board committee activity. We do not have, I don't think we have a report from the Recreation Committee at this point. Or from the Cemetery Committee. Nor from the Zoning Review Committee, although the Zoning Review Committee has been meeting, but Edie is not here. I think she's planning to give a report at our next meeting. But the Communications Committee has been busy meeting. And you have a report?
Yes, Meg, Tilly and I met and we looked over the town website and looked at ways we could improve that. And we've set a time to meet with the the IT web designer to discuss changes to the website to update it, among other things.
Tilly's been doing a great job to update, but we just need some formatting changes to make it more user friendly for her to do so. And also we want it to be that anyone could go to it and just intuitively look at the drop down menus to find information, because a lot of people are looking for things, but they just can't find it. So I think we're moving in a good direction. So people don't have to, and also another big thing is when people are constantly calling the town hall for questions, like what are those questions that maybe we can address through updating the website. Looking forward to it.
Great, well, thank you. I think one of the things that the town has really been trying to do better and better each year is to communicate what it is that we're doing here at the town. I know that for many of our residents, what happens here at Town Hall is a mystery, but it doesn't have to be. And for people who pay attention, who go on the website, who follow, our reports, all of the minutes of our meetings are posted. And it's great when people feel that what goes on here is something that they can access. So thank you. Okay, item 6, as I said, we're passing on until we get that. We have received proposals for cyber liability, builder's risk, and pollution liability. Those were not part of the basic insurance package that the town approved earlier this year. The one that was a very significant increase was our cyber policy. This policy that we will be taking out is essentially the same policy that we had last year at a vastly increased price. And that's because of the proliferation of hacking attacks on towns, on businesses, on all kinds of organizations. But cities, villages, towns, states have been victims of this. And if we were to become a victim of this, it would be devastating for the town. So I know that we have conducted several training sessions for town employees. One of the really important things is to make sure that people do not click on something that is malicious. And it's sometimes very easy to fall prey to that. So I think that constant training and assessing of our system will be our best defense for this. I have distributed copies of the proposals for the cyber and for the builder's risk and pollution liability. I think they're all, ones that we should have. And that the premiums are appropriate to us and for our budget. So I welcome any questions, but or a motion to accept these proposals.
So moved.
Second,
Okay, let's do a roll call on this.
Supervisor Cannon,
Aye.
Councilman Morrison. Aye. Councilman Fidele,
Aye.
Councilman Midwood,
Aye.
Councilwoman Winkler.
Okay, thank you. The next item is the star attraction of the day. This is a resolution to accept petitions for formation of a town wastewater district and setting a public hearing. When the town has received petitions from a majority of the assessed value of parcels in our proposed wastewater district. The wastewater district, as people know, is the boulevard, the commercial properties in the boulevard. And I have actually made contact with almost every single property owner out there. And the requirement for petitions is that we need to receive more than 50% of the value of all of the parcels in our proposed district. And I'm happy to say that we've received petitions from 75% of the parcels in the district. And so I have these, Warren. I'm going to pass them over to Warren so that he can see them. These are the originals. Every signature is notarized, and I want to thank Lorna Sherman for being my diligent helper in this. We've been out visiting different parcel owners so that their signatures could be notarized. And we have sent copies of all of the petitions to our town attorney. But these are the originals.
Got it.
Which we will keep here in our files.
Right.
So Warren, do you want to just tell us
Sure.
what happens
Just
at
a
this?
couple of things. I did prepare an order calling for public hearing in anticipation that we were going to receive this tonight. I made a couple of minor changes to the whereas clause on the second page, which so that whereas clause is slightly changed. The numbers are the same, but I took out the reference to BU. And then just made a reference to the typical property rather than the typical commercial property, even though they are all commercial, assessed as commercial property. The only minor problem is that I spoke to Erin Moore today. One, to make sure that she had read the order and approved of it, and also to make sure she could be at the public hearing. And she told me that she is committed to giving a presentation on June 8th. So we selected another date if it's available to the town board, which would be that she's definitely available, and that would be on June 13th. Would that work for the board? We'd have to conduct a special meeting.
It's Tuesday.
June 13th.
Yeah,
Is it a Tuesday?
it's a Tuesday. Huh?
It's a Tuesday, it's court.
There's court here.
Right here.
Doesn't mean we couldn't have a special meeting of the board.
We could do, doesn't have to be here, we could do it at the library, we could conduct a special meeting at the library.
What time does court start on? 7. We could also do it at 6. But why don't we, I mean, I think 6 would be is what we had the last special meeting. that-
13th, the 13th is special prosecutor, they start at 6.
Okay. All right, well, we can, why don't, if the date is agreeable to the board. Why don't we see, pending identification of an appropriate venue. For us to have the special meeting,
Right.
which would likely be the library annex, but
Right.
we will need to check with the library. On that, I don't know if they regularly have anything on Tuesday nights.
We changed our board meeting because they were using the annex for something else.
For,
So,
on Tuesdays,
On the Wednesday, so I'm not sure if the annex is available that night or not,
okay,
but I can check.
all right. Well, why don't we set it for the 13th at a place to be determined? And we can, I know we can find a venue,
Um, Yeah, did I put where we're going to have the meeting? So I'd have to change the location in the resolution that we passed. So why don't we pass the resolution to the 13th at the library, is that what it's called?
Mhm.
And I'll change the resolution, and if that doesn't work, then we'll figure out something, you may have to have a quick special meeting. to change
Right.
The location, but I'd rather have that fixed at this point, because we have certain time frames that we have to publish everything, so. And I can make it that night, I'm available.
I'll
So-
check with Rhiannon tomorrow on that.
okay,
So this would be the revised order,
Mhm.
and it's, the only change would be that the date and the location. And then there's one paragraph which I've already changed.
Thank you. And this has to be. No less than 10, but no more than 20.
Yeah, it's right in the resolution. But if we can go over it.
Okay.
so the only thing that will change in here will be the date of the special meeting and leaving out the location.
Right, well, let's put the location into the library
Okay,
in the hope that we don't have to
right.
make a change, because I'd rather have it. We're told that these. Everything's gonna be scrutinized by the state control, I don't know if that's true, so I just wanna make sure we don't have. Leave room for error, so let's do that, and then we can change it if we have to.
It doesn't have a time, though, in that paragraph. So would you put a time in?
The time we, is 6 or 7 better for? Either time is best. Fine. with
I think the
six.
last time we had a special meeting, we had it at 6,
6 is a good
Like
time.
6, yeah.
so 6 o'clock. Okay. Would you like them to read
Do
the,
you want me to read it since I made the change?
Yes.
yeah, right,
Let's do that. So this is an order calling a public hearing. Whereas a written petition dated May 11th, 2023 has been submitted in due form by the owners of taxable real property situate in the proposed sewer district number 1 for the town of Northeast, owning in the aggregate more than 1/2 of the assessed valuation of the taxable real property in the said proposed sewer district, as shown on the latest assessment roll of the town of Northeast, County of Dutchess, State of New York, to establish sewer district number 1, which will comprise that portion of the said town outside of the incorporated village or city, and wholly within the town, which is bounded and described on exhibit A next here too. And the map from the map plan report should be annexed
it is,
to the resolution. Whereas the improvements proposed within the sewer district are to consist of a sewer district system to serve the district as described in section 2.3 of a map plan report prepared by Ty and Bond Engineering and Landscape Architecture PC dated December 2022. A copy of which is on file in the office of the town of Northeast clerk and is incorporated by reference herein. And whereas the sewer collection system will be operated in conjunction with a water resource recovery system which will be constructed within the village of Milton as described in section 2.4 of said Mount Planner report. And whereas said systems will be operated together as described in the said Mount Planner report pursuant to an intermunicipal agreement between the village of Milton and the town of Northeast, which I'm hoping will have at least a draft form by the meeting. And whereas the maximum amount proposed to be expended for the improvements for the water district number 1, $2,955,000, as set forth in section 3 of the said Mount Planner report. And whereas a hookup fee will be required to hook up. What was that?
Your phone.
Your phone.
Oh, my phone. Oh, my God, sorry.
Something.
You know what that was? And whereas hookup fee will be required to hook up to the system within the district, but will be waived for parcels that connect during the initial construction period established by the village and the town, and future hookup costs and charges will be charged for connection to the system that occur after the initial construction period, as set forth in section 3.4 of the Mount Planner report. And whereas the properties within the proposed district consist of commercial properties only, the cost to a typical property within the district are as follows: annual capital cost, $2,965, annual operating and maintenance cost, $788, total annual cost, $3,753, and total monthly cost, $316.50, all is set forth in section 4.1 of the Mount Planner report. Now therefore be resolved that a meeting of the town board of the town of Northeast shall be held on June 13th at the town of Northeast Library Annex located at whatever the address is, Milton, New York, to consider said petition and to hear all persons interested in the subject hereof, and for such other and further action on the part of the town board with relation to the premises, and be further ordered that the town clerk is hereby authorized to publish notice of said hearing in the town's official newspaper at least no less than 10 days and no more than 20 days before the date is set for the said public hearing, and be it further ordered that the town clerk shall cause a copy of this order and the exhibits annexed hereto to be posted on the signboard of the town of Northeast not less than 10 nor more than 20 days before the designated date for the public hearing. And it is further ordered, town clerk is hereby directed to post notice of this public hearing with a copy of the order and exhibits annexed hereto on the town's official website, no less than 10 no more than 20 days before the designated date for the public hearing. And be it further ordered that a copy of this resolution and the said Mount Planner report shall be made available for inspection at the office of the town clerk during regular business hours.
With that, I would like to ask if any member of the board has any questions for Lauren at this point. I think it's all been laid out now over a succession of meetings. If there is a motion to approve the resolution, I would entertain it.
Second.
Tilly, would you conduct the roll call?
Supervisor Kennen,
Aye.
Councilman Fidele,
Aye.
Councilman Midwood,
Aye.
Councilwoman Morrison,
Aye.
Councilwoman Winkler.
Okay, the motion is.
9-0.
Here you go, Kelly.
Thank you.
If you want, I'll send you a
We did-
revised copy that just, we have the address, I think, of the library.
Warren, we did discuss that we would have it at 6 o'clock. And
6 o'clock.
yeah, that wasn't.
Oh, I didn't put it in there.
Okay, so with that addition of the
Yeah.
time,
The time is 6 o'clock, so.
thank
so
you.
Noted.
Okay. With that, public comment. Public comment?
I do have a comment, but first I'm seeking clarification. You said that there would be an executive session to discuss legislation,
No,
and you mean litigation?
I meant litigation.
Public comment. A few meetings ago, I brought up the concept of trying to figure out what the town can do. To, in some way, address the issue of very large houses, being built in the town. Which seems problematic in a couple of different ways. The first, way being that, a lot of these houses are much larger than I would imagine that a family would reasonably need and use up a tremendous number of resources, including energy to continue to operate those houses. Also, we have, as you know, a housing crisis in this town and it just seems like a terrible inequity to be having people build houses up to 10,000 square feet and then there are people who can't find any house. And when I brought that up, Warren, you mentioned that it might be appropriate for me to speak with the ZRC attorney, but I have no way of doing that. There's no access for me to speak to that individual. So I would like to hand it back to the town board, and I know that there was some interest from members of the town board. A few of them reached out to me on trying to conceptualize how this could be addressed. But I have no means of doing it because I don't have the legal expertise. I don't have access to legal counsel, but you all do and you're elected officials. So I would ask that you put this on your plate as something to look at and try to figure out.
Okay. So noted, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. I have a budget adjustment. Number 3 for the year 2023. In the A fund, it's an expense increase of $387,000 less a revenue increase of $387,000 for a net of zero. Just for public information that we are moving that money from essentially what you could regard as a savings account into an operational account for the purpose of completing the purchase on the new town hall. Can I have a motion to approve the budget adjustment?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I have a special abstract dated April 20th, 2023, totaling $4,007,462, broken down as follows. A fund, $164,704. Capital projects H1, $3,842,758. Could I have a motion to accept the special abstract?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We pass this around for signatures. 5/11/23. I have a special abstract dated April 25th, 2023, totaling $866.55, broken down as follows. A fund, $866.55. Do I have a motion to accept the special abstract?
So moved.
Second.
Is that Lana?
Yes.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Yeah, I don't really. Put my scribble on here. Another an abstract dated May 11th, 2023, totaling $95,513.25, broken down as follows. A fund, $45,258.23. B fund, $33.50. DV fund, $18,924.79. Water District SW1, $29,235. ARPA, $1,568. TNA two escrow, $237.50. And payroll PNA, $256.23. Could I have a motion to accept the abstract, please?
Second.
Is that Ralph and Meg? All in favor?
Aye.
The motion is approved. The voucher committee for June 2023 is John Miswood and Lana Morrison. Minutes of the last two board meetings of April 13th, 2023 and April 24th, 2023 have been distributed to the board. And if you've had a chance to look at them, if anyone has any corrections or additions to them, now's the time. Otherwise, I'd accept a motion to approve them.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The motion is carried. At this point, we're going to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing pending litigation. And I would accept a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. And I will record Tilly, who makes a motion to come out of executive session and keep that and to adjourn the meeting. I'd actually like to ask Catherine if you could stay for a minute, a few minutes.
She vote.
I don't, yes, no, I do.
Oh,
I
you
do. Absolutely, you're not getting away. Anyway, everyone else is excused and thank you for coming.
We never voted on that.
We, on. Going
To go into
executive
executive
session. Okay, the motion was made
Right.
and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
There we go.
thank you.